Disclaimer, this is part 2 of this video. Make sure to check out part 1. And also, the outro and the intro will be the same as the previous video, so if you want to, you can skip to the next slide. So, hello, I am Mystic Orange. I'm listening into Talking in the Shadows. This is video 195. Yeah. So in this video is going to be a little bit different today. Um, I'm doing something a lot different for this video. Something that I just wanted to do. It's not my usual stuff. I want to do something creative and fun with you guys. Um, so crossovers, right? You when you know when you share one media and another media together. um I did I had have an idea for what a Winx Club and a Ruby rewrite, I mean crossover, would look like. This is just my idea. It's just fun and all that. So that's the whole point for this video. Just sharing my ideas. I don't care how long this video takes. I just want to share it because I think it's really fun. And I just wanted to have a go and like share my thoughts. Like, if Winx Club and Ruby were in the same universe, what would they look like? You can share your ideas as well. Like, if Winx Club and Ruby had was like in the same universe, what do you think it would look like? Or if you want to, like, if you want to, we have done talking about you know, the Ruby girls being fairies and the Ruby boys being specialists. Now I want to move on to different things. Um, what if the Ruby girls, no, Enchantrix? I want to add this to this discussion as well. So, Enchantrix is where like the fairy have to sacrifice uh, themselves to save another person. You know, that's how they earn the Enchantrix. It's a unique addition to Winx Club universe that I find very interesting. So, um, what if the Ruby girls? What would they be like if they had to earn Enchantrix? Um, this will be a fun idea to discuss. I think if Ruby characters had to earn Enchantrix, you had to save someone from your own world. Like, I imagine if you're from like a Ruby show, like if you're Ruby, you would have to save someone from Vale, or if you're from like I imagine if you're Ruby, um, you would have to save someone like Crow, Oobleck, or Glinda. I can't imagine Ruby saving her uncle. A bit like how Stella saves Stella. I mean saves her father. Um, and then sometimes it is someone unexpected. Um, I think there could be chance that you know Ruby could say someone like Glinda or um, maybe someone else. Maybe it's a villain that she accidentally saves. Like you know, I can't imagine her, but I think her saving Crow will be the most likely choice because I think Crow is the most closest to her. I think in terms of like family and stuff, and you know, he did guide her. So yeah, if Ruby had to an Enchantrix, she would have to save Crow. But someone like Glinda or Oobleck would be a likely candidate as well. For Weiss, um, I I think I can imagine her saving like a member of her family, or maybe she saves all of her family. But I think the idea that Wise saving her family is like, I think it would be too obvious. Like, of course she's gonna save her family. So I think it will be a very boring idea for like Wise to save her family. Maybe because there are a lot of Atlas characters out there, so I think it will be very interesting if like if Wise saves someone that isn't her family. Maybe she could save someone like Ironwood. I think that would be very interesting if he's not dead yet. But I think that will be very interesting for like Wise to do. Or maybe she saves someone like who isn't from her like her uh, you know line. Maybe she saves someone from like Mantle or something, or I don't know. Um, or maybe someone who's part from Atlas to prove that she's not like a stuck-up person, or that she doesn't think like the other rich people do. So maybe she could save someone like from the poor district of Atlas. Um, that would be very interesting. But I can't imagine her like saving someone like Ironwood. So, and Ironwood was kind of like fatherly towards her as well. Like he kind of defended Weiss for thingy jocks. Remember in Volume 7, like he stood up for Weiss. So I think it will be very creative if she saved him. So yeah, that's my idea. For Blake, she has to save someone from Menagerie. I think of a very good idea who Blake could save. I mean, she could save her parents, but I think that's kind of a boring idea. But I think of a very good character who she could save, and that's Ilya. I think if she had to earn Enchantix, she would have to save Ilya, and I think that would be very good. And I think it would be great for the ships, for those who ship Blake and Ilya, and I think that would bring a lot of spark. I think you know the storyline between Blake and Ilya is very interesting. So I think yeah, if Blake had to save someone, it has to be Ilya. I think that will be very interesting um, for her. Like Ilya's story as well. Like what we know like with her family and stuff. I think it's very interesting. Um, so yeah, um, Blake would save Ilya. So I know how I said how saving your own family member might be very boring. Like if Wife saved her family, it would be a boring idea, or how Blake saving her family member would be a boring idea. Um, for Yang, I think it's a different case. I think if she saved her own family member, it would actually be interesting. And I think I have a very good idea of um, who she could save. As like, um, you think I would say Ty or Raven? I don't think so. The person she would save is her own sister, and that's Ruby Rose. I think the show kind of, talks about how like Yang and Ruby, like people all complain like they don't act like real sisters. So I think if Yang saved Ruby, that would be very interesting. Um, so um, story wise, if Yang saved Ruby and she had Enchantix, that would be very impactful. It would change the whole dynamic. People will like not complain about it anymore. I think I'm one of the few people who feel like, yeah, Yang and Ruby don't feel like sisters anymore. They barely interact and stuff. So I think if Yang saved Ruby, that would be very impactful. I think yeah, and it kind of it's kind of like how like in Winx Club, Flora saves her own sister, Rose, in her Enchantix. So it wouldn't be too far off to like the idea who Winx character could save. So yeah, um, yeah, Yang would save her sister Ruby. Uh, so I think it's implied that Pyrrha is from August in Minstrel. So I think she would have to save someone from August. John is from August as well, so that could be a possibility of who Pyrrha could save. Because I remember in Volume 6 they had that statue thing, so it's implied that she is from around that area. And apparently that red hair woman is possibly her mother, but it's never confirmed in the show, so I'm not trusting anything else to like convince me that that is her mother. So like, she could be just a random lady that whoever. Um, if it's implied in the show, then I will confirm that is her mother. But I think again it will be. I think for Pyrrha it will be someone unexpected. Um, I don't think Pyrrha is gonna save John if she was alive. I think it would be a boring idea if again she just saves her love interest, but that when there are like other options out there. So I think if Pyrrha had to save someone, maybe it's John's sister. Maybe she saves someone close to John. Maybe it's like she saves Saffron. Um, I think that would be very interesting if she was still alive. Like if Pyrrha was still alive, trying to save someone. I think and part of the like plot line. I think Pyrrha trying to save John's sister would be very impactful. I think it would mean a lot to John, like someone close to him got saved, and Pyrrha saved them. So yeah, so my idea is that Pyrrha would save Saffron. So yeah, that's how she ends her enchanted. For Nara, who would she save? I have two options who she might save. Um, Option one, she could save Ren, who's close to her, who's like, I think Ren and Nora, their storyline is very interesting to me. As of right now, like and you know how the story is going, like how Nora and Ren they're like separate now, and like they're having their like dilemma as well. Like if you see like Volume 8, and they're kind of like have their moments. Um, I think Nora's trying to save Ren would be a very interesting thing, um, for her to Enchantex. Because I think their story is very interesting. But option two is she could save someone unexpected. Maybe she's the one who saves Leo before him dying. I think that would be very interesting. So I think that would be a very good idea for like who she could save. Be like how Layla saved Queen Leisha in Andros, like with her blindness. I think yeah, I think either Leo or Van, like Leo, someone who's unexpected. As for Penny, I have plenty of ideas who she could save. She could save her father, Pietro. I think that would be very heartwarming thing. If Penny was still alive, I think that would be a very heartwarming thing for like, her saving her father. Because I think they had a really touching moment that gives me comfort. Like them. I think it's in season 8. They have like very touching moment, and I think it's very beautiful. She could save him, but she could also save someone from Atlas as well. Like she could save Weiss, although I think that would be very very boring. I don't think they have any connection. But I have other ideas who could she say, like maybe Flint or Neon, who are like also from Atlas. But my very number one pick for Penny to save, it has to be CL. Remember CL from Volume 3? I think that will be very interesting for like Penny to save. Like, I think CL is such a cool character. I think um, the fact that Penny, CL, Flint, and Neon weren't in the same team is such a missed opportunity for me. But I think Penny and CL they would have been a great um, you know addition. Penny like saving CL would like be very great. And I think CL's cute. I like CL. And I think we could imply that she's really good friends with Penny, and not just teammate. So yeah, I think Penny and CL being if Penny saved CL, it would be very great. So yeah, that would be my option for Penny. So that's my idea of how the each RWBY girl could earn the Enchantix if they were in the Winx universe. So yeah, I haven't covered all the characters earning the Enchantix. So if you have any ideas how they could earn Enchantix, share in the comments as well. It's fun to share your ideas. Yeah. So now I've covered how the RWBY girls could earn the Enchantix. Now I want to move on to something else. Um, so if Winx characters and RWBY characters met, who would I love to like meet each other face to face? I have plenty of ideas who I would want, people to see each other. Um, there are plenty of them. I'll share it with you. The first person, if Bloom had to meet someone, I would prefer it would be Cinder, because Bloom does fire stuff, Cinder does fire stuff. If they met, I think that would be interesting. Maybe they would have rivalry with each other, like Bloom and uh, you know with Cinder. Maybe they have fight with each other. Um, Other options would be like um, Bloom and RWBY, because Bloom is a leader and RWBY is a leader. So having them interact is would be very interesting how that dynamic would work. And I also have an idea if Cinder would meet Icy, who's like who has kind of similar a thing, because she's kind of has that villainous evil, like um she has uh, charisma or something. it, they just have that way of speaking of like as a villain, as like villainess kind of thing. Obvious, I can imagine like Icy beating Cinder. Like Cinder wouldn't last with Icy. I think like Icy would be stronger, but that's just my thought. Although, Cinder always survives somehow. But yeah, I can imagine them interacting. So yeah, I would love if Bloom and Cinder interacted. If Stella had to meet someone, my favorite pick for Stella would have to be Sun. I think they would be very fun together. I think they'll have each other's vibes. The fact that he's called Sun is a very telling of like who I would want Stella to like hang with. They're positive, they're blonde, they're upbeat. I think Stella and Sun would be a very good match if they met. I would love the like banter and all that. So, if I had to, if Stella had to meet someone, it has to be Sun. Um, Honorable mentions has to be like Weiss or Nora. I think Weiss for like she's the princessy type, and she has that. Um, she has similar personality to Stella, of that sort of personality. And I think Nora, because they're both party type characters. They're like the extroverts. So I think Stella would get along with Nora very much. If Weiss had to like maybe like I said before, she could meet Icy, but also maybe a diaspora as well. Like she was also a bit of like that um, royal, like rich, uh, kind of archetype. So I think yeah, maybe diaspora and Weiss could meet. Um, maybe Son could meet Brandon. I think maybe like she could like hit up with he could hit up with Brandon and they could get along. With I can imagine like Stella, Brandon, Son, they can just get along. Yeah. For Misa, I think I have an idea who she could meet. I think I would love her to meet Flint, because Flint, he plays trumpets. He's the musical guy, and he looks like a jazzy guy with hat, and he has the look of a musical person. So I think Misa, if I had to pick anyone from the RWBY universe for Misa to hang with, it would be Flint. They could just play the trumpets together, have a band. So I think Misa and Flint would get along. Honorable mention will be Neon Cat. I think she also has that party as feeling, and Misa likes to have parties. So I think Misa, Flint, and Neon they could, you know, have fun. I think I could see her hanging with Nora as well, who's also a bit of that party kind of vibe, and Misa would be into that as well, like with all the music and stuff. Um, I also think I would love Misa to meet Blake, because I think they're both melancholic, and they're all in tune with their emotions. So I think if I had to have like anyone interact with Misa and Blake, maybe Misa could help Blake with her emotions, like express them better. So I think Misa and Blake could get along, but ultimately I think Flint is my favorite option for Misa, as well as Neon. Yeah, for Techna, it has to be Penny. End of story. I think this is pretty obvious answer for me. If Techna had to meet someone, it has to be Penny. Like like before I mentioned, like Penny being a robot fairy, and I think it would be very interesting for like Techna to meet someone like Penny, because Techna is the fairy of technology, and also she also has similar um, story of like um, I think I can relate to Techna and Penny because they're like autistic coded, and I am myself. I am autistic, as you know, whatever. And I would love if they met, because they are they mean a lot to me. So if Winx Club had a crossover, I'd love if Techna met Penny. As I would love that 100%. Um, any other interaction I would love if Techna met Weiss. I think they would get along because of like she's from the also from Atlas, and who is from Technology World. Um, I would love if Techna met Winter. I think they also would have like similar experience of like trying to figure out emotions. I think Winter has her own like, you know, thing with her emotions. So I think I can see Winter and Techno getting along. So yeah, for Flora, for aesthetic purposes, I would love if Flora met Sage. You know, because he has Flora's color schemes, and I think I like his color scheme. I think it would fit Flora as well. So I think it, just for fan service and just for my sake, I would love Flora met you know Sage. But honorable mention will be Emerald. I would love to see if she met Emerald or like Vernal. Um, just or someone who's like soft spoken, like Velvet. I think I would love if Flora met Velvet or someone, or maybe a Faunus kind of character, like Fiona, um, or maybe someone else. Maybe if she could meet Ruby, because I think they would get along as well. Because um, she's a rose flower. I think um, she would get along with her optimism. But overall, I do would want Flora to meet Sage. Maybe they could get along with each other. So yeah, um, that would be my idea for Flora. Last but not least, for Layla, who I would want her to meet. I would want Layla to meet Neptune. I think it would be fun if they interacted, because Layla is a water fairy, and Neptune is based off Ariel, and his kind of has like a watery aesthetic. Like he has blue hair, so I think um and that fact that he's called Neptune and Layla like his uncle her uncle is King Neptune. I think that would be really fun. So, um, um, if I had Layla to meet anyone, it would be Neptune. Um, as for an honorable mention, I would think I would want Layla to interact with Yang as well, because they're both like tomboyish characters, and I think they would like to have be rough around the edges. And also, both of them ride motorcycle. I think Yang and Layla, I would love them if they had like um, had both motorbikes playing. I think in Winx Club, Layla does ride hover bikes. Like in with when we first see her in the first few episodes, like she kind of rides River's bike, and then um, in season 3 she kind of teaches Flora how to ride a bike as well, and she goes through that like in Solaria episode, like she goes through that course. So I think both Yang and Layla would meet, but ultimately I would want uh, you know Layla and Neptune to meet for purely for the aesthetic of like Neptune. Um, so that's the characters who I would love to meet if they like if Winx and Ruby had a crossover. Those are the characters who I would love to like interact with. Um, who uh, who would you want to interact with each other? Let me know in the comments. This was really a fun thing to talk about. The last thing I want to talk about is uh, what fairness would the Winx girls would be. Um, this gonna be short and quick. I think Bloom, she would be a cat fairness, because I think it would be cute on her. But I also have idea like she would also be a dragon fairness, because she's a a dragon fire. But other ideas will be like a sheep faunus because her fairy pet was a sheep. Maybe a rabbit faunus as well because Kiko. Um, and then a unicorn faunus because Alice was her unicorn. But I think I would love if she had like cat ears and cat tail, a blue cat ears and cat tail. I think it would suit her for Bloom. For Stella, I think I would want uh, um, her to have a monkey faunus. I think it would suit her as like cat. I think monkey ears, monkey tail. I think I would love her with a son. They're having the monkeyness. I think it's something I would associate with Stella, um, uh, and I would connect her with Sun as well. Other honorable mention would be like um, uh, a dog, um, any bird actually. I think any bird would suit her because I think birds go with the sun and suns are in the sky and yeah, and her I think her fairy animal was a bird, um, but yeah, but my ultimate choice for Stella would be a monkey. Um, for Musa, what would her faunus trait? What would her animal be? I think any bird again for Musa because like birds sing. I think birds would suit her. I think a bear would also suit her because I think her fairy pet was a bear, and she also had a cat as a fairy animal. So those are the ideas. But I also think other ideas like elephant because they're pretty noisy, or lion because they're pretty loud as well. So I think those are cute faunus for her. But I think if I had to choose a faunus for Musa, it would have to be like maybe a lion. I think a lion for Musa would be really cute. So Bloom gets cat, Stella gets monkey, Musa gets lion. For Techna, I think I would suit a reptile for her, like a gecko or lizard, or like, I think she would suit with like a reptile type character, animal. Um, if I think other options would be um, um, like a chameleon, snake. I can see her with a turtle. Yeah, I also can. Yeah, I think those are pretty. I think my ultimate choice for Techno, it has to be um, a turtle for us. I think it would suit her. I think her gadget was a turtle as well. Like the thing she carries. Yeah. So Techno would be a turtle for us. For Flora, I would imagine her as like a woodland creature, so maybe a rabbit or like, how velvet looks like, or maybe a chipmunk, mouse, a a bat, um, or maybe a deer. I think a deer would be a very good faunus um, animal for Flora. So I can imagine her as a deer. So yeah, I think for Flora I would pick deer for like her faunus. Um, and Layla I think is pretty easy. What sort of faunus would be her choice? Like it would be any marine animal. um, but I think out of the marine animals, I think um, Layla would be a dolphin faunus. I think it would suit her, and it will connect her with the mermaid. So I think Layla would be a mermaid. So overall, I think Bloom would be cat, Stella would be monkey, Miso would be lion, Techno would be turtle, Flora would be a deer, and uh, and Layla will be Dolphin. So that's my idea for what our Winx Club and RWBY crossover would be like. Um, I had really fun doing this. Um, so I started doing this since 9 a.m. and right now it's 1 p.m. So so you better like and subscribe. Uh, I had fun. I hope you had fun watching this. And you get to come up with your own ideas as well. And again, you know, what ideas do you think, like, what if another show was crossed over with these shows? Like, what if Winx Club had a crossover with Avatar, or what if RWBY had a crossover with Sonic the Hedgehog? Um, share it with it's fun seeing like fandoms, doing this. I think it's really great way to help the community, feel connected to each other, and it's fun. Um, everyone can get along and have fun with their creativity, imagination. Like, it's truly astonishing what our minds can do with this, with the media we have. Yeah, feel free to share. Um, this video took a very long time to make again. Yeah, again, I did this since 9 a.m. So yeah, um, like, share, and subscribe, and have a lovely day.